Well, name's Ron, and I really don't have anything prepared, but I wanted to kind of not so much vent, but just relay my personal experience. I know a lot of people have had similar experiences trying to get a home loan modification. I was laid off in November of '08, unemployed for 10 months. Thankfully, I'm working now and happy for that. But during that interim period, tried to work with Citimortgage on getting a home affordability modification. Um, and I tell you, that process, I know people have gone through with Bank of America and others, the Citimortgage, after literally, not no exaggeration, hundreds of phone calls. The ineptness, the just the inability for them to even care and try to do anything to help you out. Misinformation, just incompetence. And you know, I never vented personally with people. These people are trying to do their job. I think it's a lack of training, a lack of will on the part of management. But you know, after probably I guess about 10 months of trying to get a modification, maybe even longer than that. I actually started in November when I first contacted Citimortgage, said, hey, out of work, just giving you a heads up, I'm able to make some payments and continue to make payments into February, March time period of '09, pulling money out of a 401k, trying to be responsible, never had credit problems, wasn't overextended, you know, didn't buy more house than I could afford, got laid off, was making good money. My wife continued to work and works to this day as a elementary school teacher. But at first they said, well, we can't qualify you because you're on unemployment. Unemployment doesn't count. So as we got further down the road, as unemployment ran out, they said, well, we can consider it. Well, your unemployment is no longer available, so you don't qualify. And they really just seemed like they just didn't, you know, have any direction. They were all over the board. There was a disconnect between collections. We would constantly get letters from collections saying you're in default, and that wasn't the case. Always paid per agreement with Citimortgage, never missed payments. We did have a forbearance for a while as they moved into the modification process. This is all agreed, documented. I took detailed notes of every phone call, customer service rep ID numbers and the whole bit, and it just thinking you're doing the right thing and you're just going to be patient and not give up, excuse me, would eventually pay off and result in a positive outcome for both parties. Didn't happen. I actually got a name of guy named Brian Bolton. He's a VP with Citimortgage, and as you know, mortgage companies like banks and so forth have hundreds and hundreds of VPs. They're not necessarily, you know, truly executive level folks. They're limited in their ability, but you know, I had gotten this guy's email. I would suggest doing that. You can search around, just Google, and you know, just do some um, searching for names. See if you can get a name of an executive, anybody. Start sending emails. Well, lo and behold, I sent this guy Brian. It was on a Sunday. I sent him an email saying, "Hey, in a nutshell, here's what's happened. Can you help?" And sure enough, he responded back. Surprisingly, I think he was even responding back on that weekend. Gave me a contact name. I was turned over to a executive response team, I think it was, and it was a whole different experience. Still didn't result in anything, but the people were more trained. They seemed to be more, you know, just, you know, better trained, more professional. They seemed to care, and they could get things done, and you could get a hold of somebody. Problem, and I know everybody's having that same experience, when you call up, you pick up the phone, you work your way, you give them the account number, and all of a sudden, every time you're starting from square one. You'd get disconnected, rerouted to the wrong number, start over, and it was just frustrating. With the executive response team, you picked up a guy, you know, you had a guy or a woman's name, and you could kind of develop a relationship, kind of like what it was, I guess, back in the day when you had a personal banker, and not so much like that, but, you know, somebody that would listen to you and not give you, you know, read off policy and saying this is, you know, nothing we can do. But anyway, long story short, I ended up getting a modification, a standard modification. I did get a little lower interest rate. It helped some, and we kind of corrected things, but The last thing they did, they ended up, unintentionally, at least that wasn't the plan, is submitting a 120-day late mortgage, late payment to the credit bureaus. Well, trying to buy a car right now. My wife got into an accident. Car was totaled. Other person's fault. So we're trying to go out there, and you walk in there and you go, okay, Mr. Sales Manager, I want to buy this car, but let me give you this little explanation. And you can see their eyes kind of glaze over and going, okay, here's another loser lowlife coming in here trying to explain his um, financial troubles. So it's embarrassing. I've always had not pristine credit, but usually, always in the 700s. I mean, good credit. Both of us. Always paid our bills. Never late on a mortgage payment, ever. Never late on a car payment, ever. And a couple or three 30-day lates over the last 5 years. I mean, hardly anything. Really good credit. And they said, well, they sent out a letter and actually acknowledged that this derogatory credit information will be cleared up, and it's been about 3 months. So I go into the car dealerships and they want, want to charge you, 12, 15%. It's insane. And Citimortgage says, well, there's nothing we can do. So I would recommend that you guys just go viral. They do respond to these things, whether anybody sees this or not. I don't know, and it doesn't really matter. But want to, just be persistent, deliberate, step by step, keep moving forward. They may knock you back. Document everything and start looking for names. Get out there. They hate bad press. There's been plenty of examples where people have been, whether it's with the cable company or a cell phone company or your own bank, where people went viral, went on YouTube, did things, and it got out there. If it got enough traffic, all of a sudden, lo and behold, get a phone call and say, Mr. Smith, we're going to take care of this problem. Anyway, I appreciate your time. Folks, don't give up. Do the right thing, and have a good one. Bye.